I've learned that every great moment of transformation in my life came from one thing: choosing to act in the face of fear. Not after fear went away, not once I felt ready, but right there in it. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. I have never truly felt ready for any of the biggest opportunities that came my way. Not when I entered the Miss India pageant at 17, not when I packed my bags and moved to Mumbai, not even when I stepped onto an American television set as the lead of a network show. I was nervous, I was uncertain, but I went for it anyway. That's the thing. Boldness doesn't mean the absence of fear. Boldness is that split-second decision to move through fear, not around it. It's about showing up, even when your heart is racing and your mind is screaming all the reasons why you can't. Fear will always be there. It's a companion we never fully lose. But when you understand that fear is just a signal, one that shows you where you're about to grow, you stop letting it control you. You learn to walk alongside it. People often ask me, Priyanka, where does your confidence come from? And I'll tell you honestly, it didn't come from never being scared. It came from proving to myself over and over again that I could take the leap anyway. Every time I walked on a stage, unsure if I belonged, every time I said yes to something bigger than I had imagined for myself, those were my bold moves, and each one chipped away at the fear, bit by bit. You don't have to be fearless to be bold. You just have to stop letting fear be the loudest voice in the room. Boldness is choosing yourself. It's saying, yes, I'm terrified, but I'm still going to try. It's about being okay with failure, because bold women know that failure doesn't define them. Quitting does, and we don't quit. You see, boldness is contagious. When you act boldly, when you take risks and bet on yourself, you give others permission to do the same. You start to inspire people, not because you were perfect, but because you were brave, and bravery is messy. It's not polished or pretty, but it's real and it's powerful. I've had moments in my life where I felt like everything was on the line. When I signed on to do Quantico, I was walking into uncharted territory. No South Asian woman had ever headlined a network drama in the U.S. before. The pressure, the doubts, the fear, it was all there. But so was the opportunity, and I chose to focus on that. I chose to believe that I could do it, even when part of me wasn't sure. That decision changed my life. So when I say boldness begins where fear ends, what I really mean is, boldness starts when you stop letting fear have the final word. It's when you realize that fear is a sign that you're on the edge of something important, something that matters, and instead of stepping back, you lean in. Don't wait for fear to disappear before you act. It won't. Instead, walk through it, carry it with you, and show it what you're made of. Because when you do, you'll discover something incredible. Your boldest self has been waiting for you on the other side all along. When I think about confident women, one thing becomes crystal clear: we don't play by the rules. At least not the ones written by someone else. We redefine them, we flip the script, we challenge the status quo and ask, asterisk, why not me? Asterisk, even when the world says, that's not how it's done. We say, watch me. I've heard no more times than I can count. I've been told I'm too brown, too bold, too outspoken, too ambitious, that I should pick one lane and stay in it, that being a successful actress in India was enough, that trying to make it in the West would be too much. And for a moment I believed it. We all do at some point. We internalize those limits that others place on us. But the moment I started questioning those limits, the moment I stopped asking for permission to dream bigger, that's when everything changed. When I decided to work in Hollywood, it wasn't just about expanding my career. It was about making space for someone who looked like me on screens where we were never seen. People said it couldn't be done. But I wasn't interested in being told what I couldn't do. I was interested in showing what's possible. It wasn't about fitting into a mold. It was about breaking the damn mold and creating something new. Because confident women know we don't have to shrink ourselves to fit someone else's version of success. The truth is, the world wasn't designed with us in mind, especially not for women who dare to be more vocal, more ambitious, more visible, and that's exactly why redefining the rules matters so much. If we keep playing by outdated expectations, we stay stuck in a cycle of limitation. But when we start asking different questions, when we start saying, why can't I be both powerful and feminine, both nurturing and assertive, we start shifting the narrative. We start creating a new blueprint for what success looks like, and more importantly, what womanhood looks like. I've worn gowns and armor, I've played damsels and warriors, I've been glamorous and gritty, and I've done it all without apologizing for who I am. That's what redefining the rules looks like. It's saying, I will not be put in a box. It's refusing to let labels define you. You don't have to be either slash or. You can be asterisk and asterisk. You can be tough asterisk and asterisk tender, elegant asterisk and asterisk edgy, strategic asterisk and asterisk soulful. You don't have to tone down to be taken seriously. If anything, the louder and prouder you are, the more seriously they'll have to take you. And it's not just about personal ambition. It's about creating change. When you redefine the rules for yourself, you pave the way for others. Every time you say yes to something that scares you, or no to something that doesn't serve you, you give others permission to do the same. You become a living, breathing example that it's okay to want more, and to go after it without shame. So don't wait for someone to give you a roadmap, make your own. Trust that your vision, your fire, your voice is enough, because it is. And when you walk boldly in that truth, the rules no longer apply. You become the standard, you become the inspiration, you become the woman who didn't just follow the path, she created it. And that's what makes you unstoppable. There is something undeniably powerful about a woman who owns her voice, not just the sound of it, but the truth behind it, her thoughts, her opinions, her stories, her experiences, spoken without apology, without fear, without waiting for approval. That's what confident women do. We embrace our voices fully and fiercely, and we don't let anyone silence us. For the longest time, women have been told to be quiet, to be agreeable, to be careful not to be too much. I've lived that. I've been in rooms where I was talked over, where my ideas were dismissed until someone else repeated them more loudly. I've been told to smile more, to be softer, to be less intimidating, and I know I'm not alone in that. Every woman has felt at some point that her voice didn't matter, or worse, that it was a threat. But here's the truth. Our voices are asterisk meant asterisk to be powerful. They're asterisk meant asterisk to shake the room. That's how change begins. When I started speaking up about things that mattered to me, diversity, equality, representation, I wasn't always met with open arms, but I kept going, because once you find your voice, you don't go back. You start realizing how many other people need to hear it. You realize that your story, your perspective, might be the spark that gives someone else the courage to speak too, and that ripple effect, that's real impact. Confidence grows when we stop censoring ourselves to make others comfortable, when we stop guessing what we say out of fear of judgment or rejection. I've learned that people will always have something to say about your choices, your words, your life. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to live with asterisk yourself asterisk. And that means living in alignment with your truth, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Speaking up doesn't always mean standing at a podium. Sometimes it means saying no when you're expected to say yes. It means setting boundaries, defending your worth, standing up for someone else, or calling out injustice when it would be easier to stay silent. It's in those small, everyday moments that your voice becomes your compass. It guides you toward the life you truly want, not the one others expect you to settle for. I've also learned that embracing your voice doesn't mean being loud for the sake of being loud. It means being intentional. It means knowing who you are and being rooted in that truth, whether you're whispering or roaring. It means knowing when to speak and when to listen, and understanding that your silence should never be mistaken for consent. When you own your voice, you also own your story, and no one else gets to tell it for you. What's beautiful is that every woman's voice is different. Some are bold, some are soft, some are poetic, others are straight to the point. All are valid, all are necessary. There is no one way to be heard. What matters is that you don't hold back. You don't dim yourself for the comfort of others. The world doesn't need more silence. It needs more women who are unapologetically themselves. So speak loudly, clearly, fiercely, however it feels authentic to you. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the perfect moment, the power you're looking for. It's already inside you. It lives in every word you've ever swallowed and every truth you've ever felt in your bones. Now is the time to let it out, embrace it, own it, let the world hear you, because your voice matters. Failure is one of those things we're taught to fear. From the time we're little, we're told to aim for perfection, to avoid mistakes, to win at all costs. But here's the truth most people don't want to admit. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's the path to it. And confident women, we don't run from failure, we use it, we turn it into fuel. I've failed more times than I can count. I've done films that flopped, auditions that went nowhere, interviews where I froze, and taken risks that didn't pan out the way I imagined. Every one of those moments could have been the end of something. But I chose to see them differently. I chose to ask what is this trying to teach me? Because every failure, every stumble, every rejection carries a lesson. And when you listen, when you grow from it, that's when failure becomes your greatest teacher. We live in a world obsessed with winning. We celebrate success, we highlight achievements, we glamorize the final product, but we rarely talk about the messy, painful, uncertain parts of the journey, the parts where we fall flat on our faces. But that's exactly where the magic happens. That's where resilience is born. That's where character is built, and that's where confident women are made. When something doesn't go my way, I give myself permission to feel it. To be disappointed, to cry if I need to process the setback, but I don't stay there. I ask myself, what can I take from this? What will I do differently next time? And then I get back up, sometimes with bruises, always with fire. Because I know that every failure is just another step closer to something greater. You don't become strong by always succeeding. You become strong by surviving the fall and rising anyway. I remember being told early in my career that I wasn't conventional enough, that my skin tone, my background, my accent wouldn't work in certain spaces. It hurt. It made me question myself, but ultimately it fueled me. It made me work harder, dream bigger, and walk into rooms like I belonged there even if no one else thought I did yet. And eventually they caught up. The thing about failure is that it humbles you, but it also sharpens you. It strips away ego and leaves behind grit. And grit is what you need if you're going to do something bold. Something different, something that hasn't been done before. You can't be innovative without taking risks. And you can't take real risks without failing sometimes. That's part of the deal, and confident women, we make peace with that. We learn to see failure not as the end of the road, but as a redirection. A chance to regroup, recalibrate, and return with even more purpose. There is no shame in failure. The only shame is in letting it stop you. In letting it convince you that you're not good enough or smart enough or strong enough, because you are. You were before the failure and you are after it, maybe even more so. You just have to decide that one fall isn't going to define you. So take the risks, go for the job, start the business, say what you mean, even if you fail, especially if you fail. Know that you're getting stronger, wiser, bolder with every misstep. And one day you'll look back and realize that failure wasn't the thing that broke you. It was the thing that built you. Fuel your fire with it. Let it push you forward, because failure is not your enemy. It's your power, waiting to be reclaimed. There's something extraordinary about a woman who doesn't just chase success for herself, but brings others along with her. A woman who knows that her rise means more when it opens doors for someone else. Confident women understand that real power isn't about being the only one at the top, it's about making sure others have the chance to climb too. Because when you lift others as you rise, you don't just build a career, you build a legacy. I've always believed that success is sweeter when it's shared. When I started gaining recognition, especially on a global level, I realized quickly that I had two choices. I could enjoy the spotlight quietly, or I could use that spotlight to illuminate others. I chose the second, not because I had to, but because I wanted to, because I remember what it felt like to be the new girl in the room, the one who wasn't sure if she belonged. I remember what it felt like to not see anyone who looked like me, spoke like me, or had a story like mine. And I never wanted another woman to feel that way if I could help it. That's why I started producing films through my company. It wasn't just a business decision, it was a mission. I wanted to tell stories that weren't being told. I wanted to give voice to talent that was being overlooked. Regional cinema, new actors, female storytellers. Those were the people I wanted to invest in. Because when you're in a position to create opportunities, you should. That's what confident women do. We don't hoard success. We spread it around, we share the mic, we pass the ladder back down. Lifting others doesn't mean sacrificing your own dreams. It means understanding that success doesn't have to be a competition. It means knowing that there's enough room at the table for all of us. And if there isn't, we build a bigger table. I've had incredible women in my life who have believed in me, mentored me, fought for me when I couldn't yet fight for myself. And now it's my responsibility to do the same for someone else, because that's how change happens, not just when one woman makes it, but when she brings 10 more with her. Sometimes lifting someone else is as simple as encouragement. A kind word, a recommendation, a genuine compliment in a room full of competition. It's choosing collaboration over comparison. It's saying, I see you and I've got your back. And the most beautiful part, when you lift someone else, you rise too. Maybe not in awards or money, but in grace and strength, in the kind of success that actually matters. This world often teaches us to compete, to compare, to believe that another woman's win somehow threatens our own. But that's a lie. Her success is not your failure. Her glow doesn't dim yours. In fact, when women support women, we become unstoppable. We multiply our impact. We build networks that are stronger than anything any one of us could build alone. So rise, but rise with your arms open. Look around. Who can you pull up with you? Whose voice can you amplify? Whose talent can you highlight? Because when you choose to lift others, you don't just change their life, you change yours. You become more than a name or a title. You become part of something bigger, something lasting. That's the kind of success worth chasing, not just for you, but for all the women coming next, because the real queens don't compete. They collaborate. They rise and they lift as they go. And that's real power. There's something magnetic about a woman who fully owns who she is. Not just the polished, picture, perfect version, but all of her flaws, her fire, her scars, her strength. Confident women don't wait for the world to tell them they're enough. They decide it for themselves. They embrace every part of their identity, their story, and their journey without apology. And in doing so, they show others what it means to live authentically and powerfully. I've had moments in my life where I felt like I had to edit myself, where I was told to be a certain way, look a certain way, speak a certain way to be accepted. Early in my career, I was told to change my name, lighten my skin, flatten my accent. And for a second, I actually considered it, because that's what the world tries to do. It tries to mold you into something more comfortable, more familiar, more palatable. But then I realized if I lose myself to fit in, I'll never truly belong. So I made a decision. I chose to stand tall in who I am, completely, unapologetically, and with pride. Owning who you are means showing up with your full story, not just the highlight reel. It means accepting your past, even the parts that hurt. It means honoring where you come from, even when others don't understand it. For me, that meant embracing my heritage, my culture, my skin, my voice. It meant no longer shrinking or adjusting to fit into a space that was never built for someone like me. It meant making space instead, and walking into every room like I belonged there, simply because I am enough. There is real freedom in self-acceptance. When you stop pretending to be something you're not, when you stop hiding the parts of yourself that feel too different or too much, you begin to tap into your true power. You stop chasing validation from people who will never understand your worth. You stop performing and start living. And trust me, there's nothing more beautiful than a woman who is fully herself, wild, wise, and unfiltered. We're often taught to dim our light to make others feel comfortable, to be humble to the point of invisibility, But confident women know the difference between humility and self-erasure. We can be humble and bold. We can celebrate our wins without shame. We can say, yes, I've worked hard. Yes, I'm proud. Yes, I deserve this. And we can say it without needing permission. Owning every part of who you are also means standing by your values. Speaking up even when your voice shakes, it means not compromising your integrity just to fit in or get ahead. It's in the choices you make when no one's watching. It's in being the same person in private as you are in public. That kind of consistency, that kind of alignment, is what builds real confidence, and people feel it. They respect it. Even if they don't always agree with you, they'll know you stand for something. But most importantly, owning who you are means giving yourself grace. It means knowing that you're a work in progress, and that's okay. It means loving the woman you were, the woman you are, and the woman you're still becoming. You are not defined by one moment, one mistake, or one opinion. You are the sum of every step you've taken, and every time you've gotten back up, so stop waiting to be ready, to be perfect, to be accepted. You already are everything you need to be. Step into that. Live from that place, and don't just own who you are celebrate it. Because when you do, the world can't help but take notice.